Hey, get ready. Leo's gonna be singing on today's Call for Help.
I hope these people can help me with my computer.
Oh.
A technician will be with you in 4 hours.
4 hours?
You can upgrade for just $5,000.
What?
The Universal Serial Config Board should be set to ID6.
I need that in plain English. Help!
Leo Laporte at Call for Help. May I help you? Now that's what we call a tease in the business. Oh, that'll get everybody watching. Hi, welcome to Call for Help. I'm Leo Laporte, and this is the show where we help you with your personal technology, help you get the most out of your personal confuser. Monica Latanwa, Andy Walker here. And you think telling people that I'm going to sing is a way to get them to watch the show?
I don't know. I'd want to see it.
Look at this. I think we're reacting here to Andy's shirt.
Oh.
The cat's running away as fast as possible. What is it? All right, not spam. What does it say under there? Unofficially or officially licensed?
Officially licensed spam where?
Spamware.
That's Hormel Corporation has licensed that.
Yeah.
You know, it's funny because, of course, spam, which we use more commonly as a description for junk mail, junk email, the Hormel Corporation for a while really hated that because they thought, well, it's just kind of, you know, that's a bad thing. We don't want our pork shoulder lunch meat to be associated with junk mail. But, and by the way, it's from that Monty Python skit that the name spam comes from, because the whole thing about that skit was you couldn't get away from spam. It was everywhere, and the more and more spam constantly coming. And of course, that's what happens. Yeah, you grew up on spam, didn't you?
Yeah.
Excuse me, Leo.
Yes, Beck.
Have you ever tasted spam?
You know what? I don't think I actually have.
Really?
No, I've never had spam.
Oh.
Is it good?
Love it.
It's good.
Fried spam's good.
Nothing wrong with pork.
No.
So, it can't go wrong.
Canned.
Can't go wrong. The pig. What an animal, huh?
You know where I got the idea
So-
for the shirt?
Where?
On 51st dates, there's a huge, because it's set in Hawaii,
Oh,
there's
yes.
tons and tons of spam product placements.
They love spam.
Yes,
Sushi,
yeah.
but that's true.
Hawaii is
They're
big on spam, yeah.
So anyway, Hormel decided, oh, we're going to live with it. And as long as you don't use the picture of spam, you know, the can of spam next to the junk mail description, we're not going to pursue it. So they've kind of live and let live with this description. For a while, the anti-spam forces were trying to use the phrase UCE to describe spam. That's good. That really rolls off the tongue. Unsolicited commercial email.
No.
It's spam!
It's spam.
And
It's
nobody's going to
publicity.
confuse junk mail with pork shoulder. I'm sorry. So what do we have on the show coming up? We're going to sing. Is this your fault?
It is my fault, yeah.
What is this all about?
So you can blame Andy.
Well, we were tossing around ideas on our show recently, and you said, hey, let's do karaoke on a computer.
Don't blame me.
You know, so
It's my fault now.
So I went out and I researched it, and this is a PCKaraoke.com.
It'll be fun. Are you going to sing too, Monica? Do you sing?
No.
Andy-
Well, we'll find in the shower.
Yes,
Andy
you
has a
do.
very good voice, doesn't he? He's a good singer. He's got a nice, strong, manly voice.
We'll find out.
Lovely spam, wonderful spam.
Okay.
So
That's
stay
coming up.
tuned.
Yeah, see, it's not a good tease. Maybe you have something that people will want to stay tuned for.
Well, no, I'm more of a backup singer. Like, you know.
You have a lovely voice.
I know what people want to stay tuned for. Amber MacArthur's here. Our web workshop is going to talk about getting your site looking good, and she's going to desiccate, and defibrillate Andy's site, cyberwalker.com. So that'll be fun. A little dissection on Andy's site. And Monster has a program every parent will love.
Yeah.
Actually, this is really
This
cool.
one you should stay tuned.
I want to use
yeah,
this.
check. Yeah, I wish I
do.
had it too.
I want to use this with my kids. You don't even have kids. You want to use it for your cats? Who would you use this for?
I think
Dave?
it's good for couples.
Aha!
Save your marriage.
Save your marriage, or well,
Save your marriage and your kids. But first call of the day. Let's get to our phone call.
We've
here.
got David from Indian Head, Saskatchewan.
Hello, David from Indian Head, Saskatchewan.
Hi, Leo.
Hey, Basil. How you doing?
Good.
Hey, Leo, I think you're a good singer.
Oh, really? You don't have
Yeah,
to say
you're an
that.
amazing singer.
Oh, you don't have to say that. Thank you, though. Thank you.
And the king of computers.
That's what I am, baby.
You are the king
I'm
of
the
computers.
king, baby.
Welcome to Canada.
Hey, I love being here. This
Oh,
is
it's
so
a
much
beautiful
fun.
place.
It is really great, and I've had so much fun. So what can I do for you today?
Well, my question involves upgrading from Windows 98 to Windows XP.
At 98 XP, okay.
Yeah. And what the problem is when I go do the upgrade, the internet seems to not function.
Oh goodness! Now you did this. So you did this on one particular computer,
Yeah.
and all of a sudden you can't get online.
Yeah, and see, it's happened to me more than once when I've tried to install Windows
Really?
XP.
Now, this is not I have done the upgrade on some 98 systems, not a lot.
Yeah.
But I haven't had that problem at all. Have you experienced that, Andy? Have you done a 98 to XP upgrade and lost the internet connection?
Oh, not during the upgrade, no. Windows 98 is notoriously bad for internet connections, and it does all kinds of nastiness.
I have to say, it's been my experience in general that when you're upgrading an operating system, you're running the risk of messing things up. I mean, I've said this before. It's like you've got the table set, and you've got this all beautiful dinner all set with all your crystal and china and everything, and you decide to change the tablecloth. And you go, whoop, well, you got to hope the china doesn't break. And then that's the easy part, taking the old one out. How do you get the new one in? And that's really what you're doing. You're changing the operating system underneath everything. Now, I think Microsoft did a pretty good job with XP. It does a pretty good job upgrading. But what you thought, maybe you had an idea about why he might have lost internet
little
access?
ding, ding, ding.
Ding, ding, ding.
What happens is when you go from 98 to XP, a lot of the drivers are upgraded.
Right.
So I bet you what's happened is his network card, Windows XP has tried to replace the new XP driver for his network card, and has failed miserably to find. So
how do you get online, David?
I'm on broadband high speed through SaskTel in Saskatchewan.
Is it USB connected or is it?
No, it's just a direct Ethernet into the box.
Connection. And are you seeing your Ethernet card in your device manager? Does it look okay?
Everything's showing up. It's actually able to pull an IP address off there, but just nothing else functions.
Oh, that's interesting. Now we're getting somewhere. So you are able to get an IP. Do you have a router, or are you going direct to the outside world?
Well, basically, we have 4 computers in our house.
So you must have a router.
And what we do is we run them all through a hub.
Right.
And from there, we just firewall them through software, through Zone Alarm.
Oh, well, now that's interesting. You put them into a hub, not a broadband router.
Yeah, I'm going to purchase one of those because what I actually was doing before was running it through Smoothwall. That way it would assign IP addresses.
Oh, okay. So you have a firewall, but you have Smoothwall doing the sharing.
Yeah, Smoothwall is what I use.
Smoothwall's great. All right. So it may be a Smoothwall issue, though. So you're getting a local address, a 192.168 address, right?
Exactly.
Okay. And that's a good sign. You can ping the Smoothwall server?
I can, and the Smoothwall server says that it replies with no drop packets or anything.
Hello, I'm Ha. Okay, so now, can you ping a address outside the server? Not a text address, but a numeric address. Have you tried that?
No, that's when it fails.
This is the diagnostic process, by the way. We slowly kind of work our way up from the hardware layer, the physical layer of connection, all the way up through the network protocols. So that fails. So that means that you're literally not getting out onto the net. You know, the reason I ask you the number, if the name didn't work but the number did, then that would mean DNS was failing. But you're not even getting a number, so that means it's not getting outside the smooth.
Yeah, and I'm able to get out on my other systems I got in the house. Everything's going through that way.
Mm-hmm, that makes sense.
So that's interesting. Yeah. So that's really interesting. What could XP have done if it's getting an IP address?
But the interesting thing is that when I do it, I have done a clean install. Mm-hmm. Once I do a clean install, everything works fine.
Looks fine.
There's some interaction with that Windows 98, obviously, upgrade. I'll be honest, Andy and I are both kind of thinking, what could happen to how could an operating system be able to get an IP address, be able to see the router, get an IP address, but not be able to get past the router?
It might be a DNS.
No, because he's trying to ping a numeric address outside on the internet, so it's not DNS.
And that works.
That does not work.
It does not.
So he can't even get out to an internet. So it's not DNS. He's actually not getting on the internet. You know, Mike, you have a thought? Any idea?
What firewall?
He's using Smoothwall, which is a Linux-based firewall. Wonderful program, by the way, and it works fine for the other computers. You know, I don't know, David. We're going to turn over all the cards and give you the $10 because we have no clue. Mikey's going,
well, even a genius can have an off day.
It's a great question, and I just can't think of why. Obviously, you've solved this by doing a clean install, right?
Exactly, and you've recommended doing clean installs before because it's just it makes it completely and much faster because it's completely fresh.
That's why. Why have bits and pieces of 98?
Exactly.
It's an interesting.
My data on a separate hard drive, so it's not a big deal to wipe it out.
It's an interesting intellectual question. Then it's not something that's going to drive you nuts. But
definitely not.
I'll tell you what. Let's think about it. Maybe we can come up with an answer by the end of the show. I'm gonna think about it, and I think it's a logic puzzle. And I bet you there's some viewers who are watching. If you've got an idea, send me an email, leo@callforhelptv.com. Maybe we could figure out what it is that Windows 98. Why that Windows 98 computer, once upgraded to XP, just will not get through the firewall. I can't think of what that could be. Don't know, David, but a very interesting question. You've posed us a riddle.
Yes.
Yeah, I thank you, and I'm glad you're watching the show.
Yeah, I'm so glad you're on in Canada because Call for Help is one of my favorite shows.
Oh, that's nice.
Just because of the interaction between the people is what I enjoy.
Well, I couldn't bring Roger and Kat up with me, unfortunately. Canadian content restrictions.
There. She's just as good.
Don't you love Monica and Andy?
I love you.
I mean, these guys are great. I have to say.
Andy's cool, too.
That's kind of a little bit of weaker endorsement for you, Andy.
That's all right. I don't mind.
Well, his opinion might change after he hears us sing.
David, thank you for the call. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, take care. Coming up, yes, it's time to sing. Should we do it now? Or should we come up after the break?
After the break.
All right, after the break. We got to give you a few more minutes.
Get those earplugs, people.
Get the earplugs. We will sing in just a bit. Stay right. I feel like a Japanese businessman. I don't know why. If you've ever wanted to go to a karaoke bar to sing your heart out, but you're too shy, you can get some practice first on your home computer. Yes, you can. Andy Walker's here with a little how-to on PC karaoke. Now, you can go out and buy karaoke discs and so forth, but this is a software program that lets you do it on your computer.
Yeah, this is a company that actually has a whole site called PCKaraoke.com. You can download the songs. You can download the karaoke software. And then you install it on your computer. You have to get a microphone.
Okay.
And I got two. I got one $20 one from Radio Shack.
Really cheesy, but it looks pretty.
Looks pretty.
Yeah.
And then I got a slightly more expensive. This is $100 maybe.
Oh, that's a fancy Sennheiser.
It's fancy.
That's a fancy mic.
Yeah, although the sound guys kind of poo-pooed it.
Oh, really?
They're like,
they mock it.
Yeah.
All right.
So that's the only hardware you really need besides your PC.
Right. Now you're gonna hear this. We just heard it a little bit. There's noise coming in from the sound card. PC is not designed for high quality audio.
No.
So you might not get the greatest result.
It ain't great.
Yeah, but at least you could do it, right? All right. So I can hear that noise. Yeah.
So once you install the software, you're going to go for a song search.
$30 for the program.
$30 for the program, and then you're going to type in, say, Elvis and their song search, and you're going to download a WMA file, which is the song without the lyrics. In some cases, actually, you can get it with the lyrics.
I have to say that they may be WMAs, but they sound like MIDIs.
Yes, they're not.
They don't.
Well, no. There's two kinds. We've been playing MIDIs.
Oh, they have WMA.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. But so you pay $2 for the high quality.
The high quality, yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
All right. Are we going to buy one?
Let's not go through that because it takes a while to do it. But I mean, I can show you how you can just add
It's a huge selection, actually.
It's a huge selection. I'm going to, let me be your teddy bear here from Elvis, and you go to step 2, and they want a minimum of $5 purchase.
You got to give them a credit card and so forth. All right. Well, we got some MIDIs we can do. Let's play with it here.
So let's play with it a bit.
So where did you get the MIDIs? You just download those?
So you download them as an executable file, and then you run it, and it installs it itself into the program.
So it comes with these for $30. You pay more if you want higher quality.
It comes with three samples, and I've bought a whole bunch of them and downloaded them.
Oh, I see. So you did buy these?
So I did buy those.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
all right. So how much do the MIDIs cost? $2?
They're all the same price, $199 a piece.
Yeah. MIDI's not great. You'll hear.
You'll hear.
Let's hear it.
So let's add Hound. Oh, we've got Hound Dog.
You want to do Hound Dog?
Yeah.
I can do Hound Dog. All right. Let's be we'll be the Rocky Bottom Boys. All right.
Nothing but a hound dog, crying all the time. You ain't nothing but a hound dog, crying all the time.
Oh no!
Never caught a rabbit, and Monica's a friend of mine. Well, they said he was high class. That's just a lie. But had you were high class. That was just a lie. Oh well. Well, you ain't never caught a rabbit, and you ain't no friend of mine.
All right, that's quite enough of that.
The scary part about it.
You're good.
Isn't she great?
That's great. Stick around. We need you.
The scary part about it is that you can actually record your vocals
and play that back.
And play it back. You actually it saves as a WMA file, and you can share it with your friends.
Oh God!
It's corny, it's cheesy, but so is all karaoke. How do you say it? Karaoke.
Karaoke.
Yeah.
But frankly, that's the whole point. It's fun.
It's fun.
Yeah. Is there something like this for the Mac?
This same company does something called Stream Karaoke. So it's actually a Flash-based program.
Cool.
Yeah, so it'll work on the Mac too.
The main thing on karaoke is you got to have the music with no singing, and you got to have the lyrics because nobody knows the lyrics, and you got to be liquored up.
You got to be liquored up.
No problem.
Tequila is the solution.
If you want to know more about karaoke, let's sing. Can we sing something else to go out?
Sure.
Go to the show notes, callforhelptv.com. Let's do the quiz, and then we'll come back and just sing another song for you. Our quiz question of the day, what is electronic spam? Canned meat, electronic junk mail, a super-powered ATM machine, or a hydrogen-powered engine? Ladies and gentlemen, the musical stylings of the Call for Helpers. Ready? Here we go.
You have made my life complete, and I love you so.
Come on in here, Basil.
Love me tender.
We'll be right back.
Love me true.
After this word from our sponsor. Please, come back.
My dreams fulfilled. For
Welcome back to Call for Help. What's one of the sweetest words in the English language? Free. Coming up in this segment, another free file. Andy's got something up his sleeve. I think, actually, Monica, too? No, Andy, all right. And also some more of your phone calls. Let's get another caller on the line. You do the bass beautifully. Do you play the bass?
Thanks.
You play the guitar.
The guitar, yeah.
Bring your guitar in sometime.
I should. I know. I should have brought it in today.
Should rock out for us. You got the rocker chick shirt on.
I know. I got the whole look and everything.
Yeah, you look like Joan Jett.
Oh, thanks.
I love Monica. Yeah.
We'll do some more later, right?
Who's the next caller?
We've got Keith from Toronto.
I don't think we'll do any more later. No more singing, I promise. Hi, Keith. Welcome to the show.
Hi, Leo. How's it going?
It's going great. It's good to have you on.
I've been watching since forever, and I'm so glad you're in Canada.
Wow. I am too. I really am too. And it's fun. Toronto's a great town. You're lucky to live here, I have to say. It really is
I
fun.
believe it.
It's a party.
I'm hoping for screensavers come to Canada. Forget the U.S. altogether.
Yeah. The heck with them. Ain't nothing down the 49th parallel. Nothing down there. Just move it all up here.
I was also wondering if I could plug a site.
Yes.
Just real quick. I know.
Sure.
It's strongwork.net.
Is this your site?
It's a friend of mine's forum.
Strongwork.net.
Strongwork.net.
And what's it a forum about?
It's just for lazy people, for trading and chatting in Canada and U.S.
All right. Oh, it's got bad words on it.
Yeah, but that strong work is kind of a mirror for it. So.
Okay, so I won't show it on the screen because I can't put those bad words on the screen.
No.
I'll let those of you who are comfortable with strong language to visit strongwork.net. Now, what can I do for you?
Now, the question I had was, well, some of us have burnt copies of Windows XP Pro.
Oh, did you get it from strongwork.net?
No.
Okay. You're not trading software then?
No, not trading software, nothing like that.
Oh, all right. Yeah, well, that's right. Piracy is a huge problem for Microsoft, and yeah, you're right. And I have to say, I'm not moralistic about this. I'm not going to judge people. I think you should buy stuff that you use all the time, but...
that's true.
Yeah. So, what you having an issue with it, or?
Yeah, I was just wondering, is there a way to update it, without, you have to go around certain things?
Service Pack 1, when Microsoft released Service Pack 1, did in fact not work on some pirated, mostly very commonly well-known pirated serial numbers. There were a handful, I think something like a dozen. There weren't a whole lot of serial numbers that everybody had that were well-known that were pirated. Microsoft serial numbers. And so the way Microsoft handled that is when Service Pack 1 came out, this is the old one, it just checked for those serial numbers and it wouldn't install it. Say, sorry, I'm not going to allow you to update. And I have to say that seems a reasonable thing. I mean, you didn't buy the software. It's kind of the height of gall to think that you should have it updated, for crying out loud. That's what people pay the money for. Now, interestingly enough, when I was first used Service Pack 2, it did, in fact, warn me on one of my machines that had a pirated software number on it. I have a variety of machines, and I have they're all legitimate licenses, but I think for some reason I had installed it with one of the bad numbers. Service Pack 2 did, in fact, say I won't install on this. But I have been told that in the release version of Service Pack 2, it does not do the piracy checking. And I think what happened here is Microsoft decided to be very big about it. And instead of doing what I think they're completely legitimately doing, which is denying updates to people who didn't buy the software, they're saying this update is so important, security of the internet is so important, that we're going to actually allow people who stole the software to update it too. Because it's not just them we're protecting the whole network. And frankly, if everybody updates, then this stuff will work. But if there are people who don't update, then we're going to still have many of the problems that we have. You know, it's interesting. There are about 260 million legitimately installed copies of Windows XP in the world. 260 million, 250 million. Of those, as of now, as of our tape date, only 10 million have been updated. So people are not updating very fast to Windows XP Service Pack 2, and that's pretty common. I think you should update. I don't think you're going to have any problem with it. It doesn't call home. It doesn't say, hey, Keith is a thief or anything like that. And I think it's very important that you update. But Keith, I'd also encourage you to buy a copy of Windows. It's not that expensive. And I'll tell you, is it worth kind of worrying, oh, gosh, can I update? Oh, are they going to catch me? I don't think it's worth the energy that you're putting on that. So
well, the way I think is if it's free, why would I pay for it?
Well, because it's not free. I mean, it's the same thing as going in a store and saying, hey, I can successfully steal that item. It's free. It's not free. You're stealing.
I do, in fact, say that.
Well, Keith, I can't help you on that account. Thank you for calling, though, all right?
Thank you.
And if you're in the city of Toronto, watch out for Keith. He's trouble. Now, you know, it's interesting. That, as far as I can tell, now, I'm not saying for sure, but it seems to me that this SP2 does install on the pirated copies. They didn't do that same kind of thing. And if that's the case, I think it's because they believe that everybody should upgrade for the safety of the net. I don't think they're protecting you as a pirate particularly. No. Yeah. Anyway, now it's time to trace our way through the web with our free file of the day. Andy's here, and we're going to talk a little bit about tracing your route. I like this. This is fun.
It is fun.
Yeah.
Just like if when you're walking through the forest, you don't walk through a straight line. You go from, winding through to ultimate destination, the meadow on the other side of the wood. Mm-hmm. You know, on the internet, you do the same thing. You wind your way through the internet.
Over the river and through the woods.
Exactly.
To yahoo.com we go. Okay.
So there is an old network secret about a program called Traceroute, which actually shows you the little waypoints you hit along the way.
Right.
Before you get to the web server that you've asked for.
It's often used to diagnose why it's taking so long, right. Where the slow points are, things like that.
Right.
It's something mostly geeks use, though.
Mostly geeks use, yeah. But it's kind of fun, and I always like to show, more advanced stuff to beginners because I think people need to know.
Well, but also this is kind of a neat trace route. Look at this.
So this is called 3D Traceroute. Mm-hmm. And what this does is basically it plots the different places that you hit along the net over time. So you can actually see in 3D
where the slow points are.
Where the slow points are, exactly.
Yeah. The peaks are the slowest hops.
Right, because as you go up the scale is the longer time.
Okay.
Right. So
now those are in milliseconds, by the way. So even the slowest is less than 1/5 of a second. We're not talking huge delays.
No, but I mean, if you get a
they are milliseconds, right?
They are milliseconds.
I would hope.
That's right.
Okay.
This tool also has an ASLIS, so you can actually see a more conventional look at the servers that you're hitting along the way. And
so explain this again. So you're going to one site. You're not going to a bunch of sites.
Right. I started with Disney.com.
Okay.
Right, and I've said, let's trace my route from where I am right now here in Toronto out to Disney.com where their servers are. And so what I've seen is the different waypoints.
It actually went through 14
different points before I got to the Disney server.
Wow.
And then these are all the samples of time, so it's each second, I guess.
Right.
And so we can actually see over a period of time from here all the way out that way, how each point is doing. So, for example, this point here, is kind of little bumps along the way.
Right.
And, of course, if a server or a router or a DNS server gets really busy, what ends up happening is you're going to get a slow response because it's dealing with a lot of traffic.
Right, right.
And then, this tool, beyond the standard Traceroute, it's got a whois type of thing, too.
That's nice. So this is more than just one program. This does a few things.
Yes, it's a few things.
Whois is a way to look up a number and find a name or vice versa, so you can know who owns a site.
Who owns a website, exactly, like that strongwords.net.
Right. Yeah, we won't be going back there. Okay. Keith was a bad boy, wasn't he?
Oh, he was a very bad boy. A bit of a rebel.
Hey, thanks, Andy. If you want this free file, and see, it's free. You don't have to steal it because it's free. Go to callforhelptv.com. We got a list of all the free files on this show. Coming up, Amber MacArthur, our web workshop woman, is here. I got to find another W. Our web workshop wizard. Yeah, is here with some neat web ideas and design tips for you. You get to dissect Andy's site after this break.
Yeah.
That's the wizard.
Web warrior. Yeah. Welcome back to Call for Help. It's time to get a little webified here. Our web expert, a usability expert, Anna MacArthur, is here. She's with iPrimate.com and is going to take a little bit of a look at Andy's site. But first, you know, I know that you were a judge for the Webby Awards.
Yes, in 2000 in San Francisco.
It's kind of the Academy Awards for the World Wide Web.
It is, exactly. It's a great place actually for people to go, and if they want to copy some really good websites, they can go and check out some of the winners.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah, it's a really good idea.
What criteria do you use to judge sites?
Well, actually, the Webby Awards, we'll just show you right now what criteria they use, and we're going to use the same criteria to judge Cyberwalker.
Oh, no. Poor Andy.
So they use content, structure, navigation, visual design, functionality, interactivity, and overall experience.
Okay.
So we're going to walk through these different elements.
Each of these things.
And look at Cyberwalker and make some suggestions and recommendations.
I'm glad you're doing this to Andy. Cyberwalker's a great site, though. Andy has a lot of content. And he's done a really good job with it. How long has you been doing Cyberwalker, Andy?
Since I started writing it in 95 and put it on the web in 97, 98.
So it's been a long time.
Yeah, there's lots of good stuff there. So we'll jump right into Cyberwalker.
I also recently redesigned. New graphics.
A small redesign. Yeah, new graphics. Yeah. A small redesign, and I'm going to do a major revamp after Amber gets through.
He's already making excuses, just like me.
It's a good site. All right, so
she's nice.
We'll start with the content. So the question they ask in the Webby Awards is the content engaging, relevant, and appropriate for the audience?
I'd agree on that.
I'd say thumbs up for Andy on this element. The content's great, and there's so much of it there. Lots on the homepage.
Let me ask you this. Do you ignore advertisements and banners? You just kind of take that out of the equation when you're judging a site. I think you have to.
Yeah,
I mean, that's an ugly banner at the top, but that's not his fault.
Yeah, right? I think you have to take it out of the equation.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely. And the second element is structure and navigation. Is it consistent, intuitive, and transparent? I would say that on the homepage, it's really good, actually, on Andy's site. He has good navigation along the left-hand side and all throughout the homepage.
He has the same issue that we were talking about last week, where there's a lot of stuff on the site.
Yeah.
And but he's found a good way of organizing it so you can find what you want.
Exactly.
And yet having links to everything.
It's good. The one suggestion I would make, as far as a recommendation to change things, is on the navigation side, because there's so much navigation that sometimes you don't understand.
Is that what we're looking at here on the left?
Yeah, on the left.
Goodness,
this is all the navigation. There's so much of it that maybe there's a better way to group it into categories, more high-level categories. And then also, it's good to stick with the same navigation on every single page. For example, if you go to the Gizmos page, you lose the navigation.
Right.
And that's one thing that, as far as usability-wise on the web, is that you have to try to stick with the same navigation and keep it in the same place on every page.
That's why I used frames, because a frame allowed me to keep a nav bar that was consistent while everything else was moving around.
Moving around, exactly. It's just great because it disorients the user when you actually lose the navigation bar, because it's like road signs when you're driving down the highway. If someone moves them all of a sudden, you don't know where to go.
But now you told me frames are bad.
Yeah, frames
Why are frames bad?
Frames are bad because, for one reason, they're hard to bookmark. Frames. People can't find the same.
It also confuses search engines.
It confuses search engines. They're bad for that. So that's probably the biggest reason, is that if people want to actually bookmark a link to your site and send it out to someone, they can't do it.
They can only bookmark my top
page. So they just
instance.
end up landing on the home page.
Yeah.
So that's not a good thing. So it's good to come up with.
Well, how would you do it then if you don't do frames?
I would suggest just writing it in HTML and sticking with, find really good navigation and take what navigation you have there right now, and just make sure that each page operates as a unit and contains all the information within that section.
So keep the nav bar, just put it in every page.
Exactly, and that's one thing for Andy that he should definitely make sure he does, because there's so much great content here. A lot of it is buried many levels down.
Style sheets help you there, because you can do a nav bar and a style sheet.
Style sheets are great.
Yeah, and you don't have to do it again and again
exactly.
and again. Yeah.
And then the next element, as far as Webby Awards, is the visual design, and the question is the appearance of the site appropriate and relevant?
I'd say it is.
I'd say it is, yeah. I'd say it's good. I really like this little graphic here, the Cyberwalker Tech Help. That's really helpful, because it really sums up what the site is about, and as we've talked about before, that's something that's missing on a lot of people's websites. Right. So that's a great graphic. So
and he maintains that theme consistently through the site.
Yeah, it's consistent throughout the site, so I think he gets an A+ on that.
Oh. your designer's name? Let's give her credit.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, actually, I've had a couple of designers over the years. There's a guy called Jeremy. What was his last name? He did What's in Jeremy's Web Wallet or something like that. And he actually showed what was in his wallet. This is years ago when he did the original design. And I've had a gal called Stephanie in San Francisco.
It's very nice. I like it. I like the rocket, and the retro look is good.
It's good. So probably what's happened here is that you added so much content that the existing navigation maybe doesn't work so well for it anymore, and you've had to switch it up that it becomes sort of mumble-jumbled a little bit.
That's frequently the case. You do a design, but that it doesn't accommodate your growth very well.
So that's one thing when you're planning websites and you talk about the sitemap and the navigation, is to make sure that it's scalable. So there's room on the left-hand side to add to that, and room to add more content. So as far as the last checklist, we have interactivity. Does the site allow you to participate? And I would say, again, A+ here, because there is the blog by Andy Walker, so that allows you to participate. And there's ways to contact Andy Walker and things like that.
He has forums, too.
Yeah, there's forums and there's all of that. So that's a really important thing, is make sure there's a use for your site. There's a reason for people to come back all the time.
It's not just a static.
It's not static.
Yeah.
That works for some sites that just have to be informational. But for a site like Cyberwalker, it's great to get people to engage and participate and help each other, especially because it's help. It's a help site, so it's good to have lots of other people helping each other, so Andy's not swamped all the time.
That's good. So what can we learn from this as an end user in designing? I guess plan for the future.
Plan for the future.
Simple navigation is good.
Simple navigation.
Make it consistent across the site.
Exactly. We're going to do another segment on navigation, because I can't emphasize how much navigation is more important than anything on the web.
It's everything, yeah.
It's everything. Without that, people can't find their way, and that content you have buried is useless.
Well, not only can they not find the content, but it's so common on a website, you get there and you can't find your way back.
You can't find your way back.
You don't want to have your users have to go to the back button.
Definitely not. So you should have all of the navigation there all the time, and it should always be consistent. If you stick to that, you should have a pretty good website.
When you go to your clients and you start talking about this stuff, do you have to be gentle, or you can't really say, this stinks?
No, I think, I have to be pretty gentle.
See, she's good.
I've become pretty good at that.
Yeah, she's very good. You didn't feel bad about that?
No, it's sort of gently moving in the right direction.
He's crying now.
Exactly.
Otherwise, he's fine.
Throw in some A+ here and there and some Fs, too.
For more on Amber's tips on web design and her gentle touch, go to callforhelptv.com, and, of course, her own website, iprimate.com, if you want to get your own review. And ambermac.com. You got that set up now,
Yeah, that's just one page, so I need
you can
to
rate
expand
her
that
on her design. Easy when you got one page.
Just one page. It's growing, so I'm just starting that as well.
That's great.
Yeah, you guys can critique it one day.
Good. We'll put more on there. That's right. We'll be right back. We're going to do a great little demonstration. Monica's got something for people with kids in the house, and, of course, more of your phone calls. Stay right here. Call for Help continues right after this. Welcome back to Call for Help. Leo Laporte here. Monica, let's get another caller on the air.
Yeah, we've got a NetCamp caller, and it's Kyle from Winnipeg, Manitoba.
Hey, Kyle, how are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm great. Welcome to the show.
Thanks.
What can we do for you today? Oh, there he is.
Well, when I try and play...
Wait a minute, are you in the locker room? Wait a minute, are you at school?
No, I'm at home.
You have lockers in your home?
Yeah, my mom brought them home from work.
Do you have a lot of brothers and sisters?
Yeah, I got two.
So do you use those for yourself, or is it just for what? I mean...
Yeah, we each have one in our own room.
That's very cute. I think that's a nice idea. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. So what's your issue?
Well, when I try and play a DVD in my computer's DVD drive, I use WinDVD or Real Player.
Okay.
The movie will start fine, I'll hear sound and everything.
Yeah.
But then, where you choose scene selections and stuff, it just crashes when it hits that.
Oh, interesting. So it can display the picture, but if you click on anything, it just dies.
Yeah. I don't even have to click. It'll just die by itself.
Oh, by itself. And have you tried Windows Media Player?
That needs a codec, doesn't it?
Well, it does, but you've installed a codec by installing WinDVD.
Oh, okay.
So you actually raised the issue that I'm going to talk about. And in order Windows does not come with the capability of looking at DVDs, and the reason is a DVD is compressed using something called MPEG-2, and MPEG-2, the right to decompress it, is not free. It's proprietary. You have to pay for it. Okay. So Microsoft figured that most people are going to buy a DVD player of some kind, so they thought, well, why should we add the cost of the license for an MPEG-2 codec if they're going to buy it anyway? So you can buy it from Microsoft. You can actually add the capability, or you can get it from in a variety of other ways. There's only one company I know of that gives you a free MPEG-2 codec, and that's actually a French school that's written a DVD player called VLC, or Videoland Client. And but basically, my thinking is that maybe there's something wrong with your codec. So what I want to do is see if you said it happens both in WinDVD and Real Player. What I want to do is say, well, let's try it in another player, which would be Windows Media Player. If that crashes too, then we know it's not WinDVD or Real Player or Windows Media Player. It's something they have in common, and that's the codec.
Okay.
So I would try that. Now, then you have to say, well, which codecs do I have? And maybe how do I get rid of that bad MPEG-2 codec and put a new one in? I presume you've tried uninstalling and reinstalling WinDVD.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the first thing you did. And in theory, that would remove the codec and reinstall it. There's a little program, I've got a link in the show notes, called MMCompView, which is wonderful. That actually, everybody should have a copy of this. It shows all the installed codecs. Codecs are just files that compress and decompress audio and video. And you can see this is a pretty standard collection of codecs. There's a ton of them.
Okay.
And I'm going to go back to my MPEG-2 codecs. You're going to want to look at your MPEG-2 codecs, see where they came from, see if they're good, disable them. You can disable them if you want, and then reinstall. By disabling, you're kind of eliminating them. It's the only way. It's really hard to uninstall codecs, actually. And then, since I think it might be a bad codec, and then you can download either reinstall WinDVD. See, what will happen is the WinDVD installer will say, oh, you've already got it installed, I'm not going to reinstall. It may be that. It may, sometimes those menus are, DVD is just software. And the menus are actually a program running. So it can crash like any other program. But I'm thinking if all three players don't handle it, it's whatever is in common, and in that case, it's the MPEG-2. So I'd look at disabling, use this wonderful little program, it's free, to disable the MPEG-2 codec and then put a new one in there. I also have a link in the show notes to an MPEG-2 codec you can download and try just to see if it works better.
Okay.
All right?
All right.
That would be my guess. Thank you, Kyle. I appreciate
Thanks
it.
a lot.
All right. Take care.
Yeah.
I won't ask you what's in your locker. Our quiz question of the day. What is electronic spam? Is it a canned luncheon meat, electronic junk mail, a super-powered ATM machine, or a hydrogen-powered engine? I think you must know this one. Go to the website, give us your answer, or just think about it in your head. Honor System will tell you the answer in just a bit. When Call for Help continues.
Rusty loves you.
Welcome back to Call for Help. Of course, you know what spam is when it's electronic. It's not luncheon meat, it's junk mail. I hope you don't have too much spam in your mailbox. That's something we got to spend some more time on, is helping people solve their spam problems, because that's we talk about spyware now.
We had a spam problem today.
Did we? Too much of
He's
it.
not here right now.
As a parent, I know how hard it is to fight. The kids spending too much time on the computer, the TV set, playing video games. I actually just got rid of our TV set and our video games. We still have the computer as a problem, but now there is a way. There is a way to solve that, and Monica has the solution.
Yep. It's called iTimer.
I love this
iTimer to the rescue. What it does, it helps you allot a certain amount of time for each member of your family on the computer or on any electronic device, like
anything
TV
that plugs in.
Yeah, anything that plugs in.
And so I could say, okay, kids, you each get an hour a day.
Or you could say you have 8 hours a week.
A week.
So then it's up to them.
That's better even, yeah.
So it kind of teaches them how to manage their time as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I can add time if they do their homework, or I can take time away if they don't.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
so if they're grounded,
you
could say nothing for Thursday or something like that.
Yeah.
So
is it all on the computer?
Yeah, it's all on the computer. So you load your software in, and when you, after you've installed it and set it all up, whenever you turn the computer on, this page will come up. Or not this page exactly, but you'll have to log in.
A special iTimer page.
Yes. So then you say, okay, I'm Andy.
The kid will log in.
Here's my password.
Okay, good.
Yep. And then what it does
and there's a parent login too, of course.
Yeah, of course. So that way you can control it, kind of like an administrator.
Are we in that mode right now?
No, we're not. Let's see if. Okay, here it is.
So this is administrator mode.
Yeah. So Andy has 11 hours left until Sunday.
Oh, good
boy. He's been pretty good.
Good boy. He's a good boy.
So he would log in, password, right? And
I
then
get
the
it. So this is the front page. Got it.
Yeah, so it's like logging into your computer, really.
Good, okay.
And it'll remember him and kind of clock him.
So he enters it in, and before he goes on TV, he does this.
Yeah, exactly. Because then it'll control. Okay. So I'm not Andy. Let's me here. Let me sign in.
Yeah, it's good. Don't tell the other kids' passwords, or they'll start messing.
Yeah, exactly. So here you can control if you want to turn the computer on or off for any of the devices. Now, this is what you do for the devices. There's something.
Oh, there's a little hardware box.
Yeah, there's a little hardware box.
Oh, I was going to say, this is an honor system. So it's not the honor system.
No, there's a little transmitter that you. It's a little transmitter that attaches to your computer via USB port.
So this is going to transmit the information about whether Andy can watch or not.
Yeah, exactly.
That's sneaky.
And then, so let's say the TV, it'll plug into a special switch.
Oh, and this communicates with that.
Yes, and that communicates with that.
So you could turn it off from here?
Yes. I can turn. So let's say Andy's over there.
It's a good thing Andy's not watching TV right now, because he's been grounded. Hey! You better turn off that TV now, young man. You're grounded.
Halo.
Oh, he's not gonna. Can we control it? Can we control it?
So let's say
he's playing Halo.
Right here, he's playing.
So you're gonna press the button to stop. Oh, it works! Oh, I love that. So it turns it off.
Yeah, it'll turn it off.
Oh, that's
Or
great.
let's say he ran out of time, it'll turn it off.
So he gets to control it from the computer. But really, the computer is watching.
Yeah, it's watching it. So if he ran out of time, let's say, it'll just automatically turn it off.
Oh, that's really great. And you could add time and subtract time.
Yep.
And he can't, if we want to ban him from the television, we just do it using this interface.
Exactly. Now, there's this
We didn't
thing
have to get rid of the TV.
No.
I would have known. If I'd only known, I would have. Oh, poor Andy. Can you turn it back on for him?
Okay, let's see. Now, there's also another mode called study mode. So if Andy wanted to do his computer...
Oh, you'd allow him to do the computer? Okay, we're going to turn the TV back on for poor Andy.
Yeah, he can go on and do his research and such, and it won't deduct the time from what you've allotted him.
Okay.
There you go.
So, in other words, you can tell that's a different kind of usage.
Yeah, but here's the catch.
Yeah.
It'll record. There's a usage log, so the parent can keep track of what.
That's great.
You know, if Andy's been playing games on the computer.
Oh, it even knows what he's doing.
Yeah, so and you know which websites he's been on and such.
That's really great.
Yeah.
Let's turn off his TV. Okay.
So yeah, and Oops.
Okay. Oh, that's where it'll log in. This is great. This is called iTimer. How much does it cost?
It's I've got the price actually. If you could bring up my laptop. I've got some prices listed there.
Oh, we turned off
the software.
The TV on. Oh, not yet. Did you? Oh. There it is. Okay. Here's the
yeah. So the software is about $40, and that only controls the computer.
And then you have to buy the hardware units.
Yeah. Or there's packages, so it's about.
That's really great.
Yeah.
That's really great. Well, there it is. You can see
it's
it
about
Yeah. That's really cool.
So the different packages comes with the transmitter of one switch or two switches. You can actually have up to 64 switches, so it can control every electronic device in your house.
Turn off his TV. If you want to know more about this, go to itimer.com or go to our website, callforhelptv.com. Andy, get off that TV!
Ah!
Andy! We'll have more Call for Help. Should we take a caller now? Oh, all right. You got a caller?
Yep, we've got Abraham from Ottawa, Ontario.
All right, I'm going to walk. You control it.
I know, I'm trying to.
Hey, Basil, how are you? Basil. Yeah. So now we're going to get him out of there. Nice job. Very good. Sneaking around. Hey, Abraham, how are you? Welcome to the show.
I'm good. How are you, Leo?
I'm very well. What can I do for you today?
Well, I'm looking for a piece of software that'll let me do basic video editing.
Yes.
And add images to my video like TV shows have in the corner.
Yeah.
And be able to do like 2 videos playing at once. Like how news shows have like an anchor in the headquarters.
So you want it over the shoulder or like a picture-in-picture and all that? Yeah, that's interesting because that's something that's pretty hard to do. That's called keying an image in or picture-in-picture. My favorite movie editing program under $100 right now is this one. It's called Movie Studio from Sony. They bought a company called Vegas that did the best video editing software out there in the world. And this is a very nice, complete package. I don't know if it does that picture-in-picture, but look at some of the effects it does. I mean, I think it does. I mean, look here. They've got 3 pictures on the screen at once. So I bet you could do what you want to do. I mean, this is $100 US, and I think one of the best packages out there. But I'm going to show you another one. This is a company called YouLead. And they make a video studio program that you can try for 30 days. It's also around $100.
Okay.
But this one, at least you could try it before you buy it and see if it does what you want.
All right.
My favorite, I have to say, my favorite is that Sony. And I have to, maybe if you browse around on the website, you'd be able to find out if it does picture-in-picture.
Does it have a free trial?
It doesn't, unfortunately. I wish it did. But I'm just looking. It says special effects, transitions, titles, zoom, rotate, and pan. You know. Here's what I recommend, Abraham. Download the YouLead product.
Okay.
You can at least try it for 30 days. See if it'll do what you want to do. It's a very good program. I mean, I like it a lot. It's not, you know, the Sony is a little bit more solid. Has kind of a, from my point of view, a better user interface. But try this. See if it'll do what you want. And if not, then take a look at the Sony. At least you don't have to pay any money to try it.
All right.
All right?
Yep.
What are you going to be doing? What kind of video?
Just stuff for like me for fun and stuff for school.
You're the next. I know you're the next Steven Spielberg, right?
Yeah.
That's great. Do you have a video camera? You shoot your own stuff?
Yep.
That's so cool. I mean, it is amazing what you can do now. You have the capability with a $100 program that a television editor couldn't dream of, 10, 15 years ago. I mean, it's really great. It's so exciting. Well, make some movies and send them to us.
Yeah, I will.
Will you?
I already made one for school. I'll try to send that to you.
I'll tell you what. In fact, I open this to anybody. You make a cool bumper, call for help, I'll be right back, or something that has to do with call for help, or maybe a mystery, something short. And we will play it on the show. We'd love to.
All right.
All right?
Yep.
I would love to get you back on, and then we'll bring you in. We'll ask you how you did it.
Thanks for having me on the air.
My pleasure, Abraham. Thanks for calling.
Bye.
Good luck. Take care. Stick around. When we come back, final words, and I'll tell you how you can get on this show. Call for help continues. Stay right here. I love that iTimer. I think that's such a great idea. It's a parent's dream come true. Little Andy didn't like it too much. Can you imagine you're sitting there, you're playing Halo, and this, I'll tell the truth. I've been a mean daddy. And I go in, I'll tell Henry, okay, 10 more minutes, and you're done. And I'll go in, and 10 minutes later, he says, no, I'm almost done. I said, no, you're done. He said, no, I'm almost done. I said, okay, 1 more minute, and you're done. Come back in a minute later, no, and I'll turn off the TV.
Yeah, well, you can actually set like a bedtime for it, so that at a certain time, like 8 p.m., it turns off.
But they hate it because they didn't get a chance to save the game or anything. It's just over. Yeah. But
there's
otherwise
deadlines.
It goes on and on and on. It never ends. So this thing, at least they don't blame me if it's the iTimer doing it, right?
Yeah,
and they're mad at the iTimer.
Yeah.
It's good for controlling your boyfriends too, right? You said.
Yeah.
Did you try it at home? Don't try this at home.
Don't try this. No, do try this at home.
It's
a good software. It's a good program.
That's good. Well, we had some fun today.
We did have fun today.
We turned off the TV on little Andy. And we took a lot of great calls. If you want to be on the show, I'd love to hear from you. Just go to the website, callforhelptv.com. There's a questions button right there on the front page. You can ask your questions. Oh, she looks cute, doesn't she, in that hat?
Oh, my gosh, it matches.
It matches and everything.
Hey.
Or, of course, you can send an email to me, Leo, at callforhelptv.com. Thanks for joining us. On behalf of Andy Walker and Monica Latamo, I'm Leo Laporte. Remember, if you've got a problem with your personal confuser, don't whine, don't moan, don't yell. What are you going to do? Call for help. See you later.